What if retail WoW started over tomorrow? Here it is. This is basically WoW 2, right? He's got World of Warcraft reset on here. WoW 2, right? People say, oh, WoW 2 already happened with Cataclysm, and WoW 3 already happened with BFA and all this other stuff, and Dragonflight, I should say. So, is that true? No, we're talking about like a reset on the game. And really, the other day, I talked about it with Guild Wars. The way they're doing the new Guild Wars, were they on Guild Wars 3 now? The way they're doing all that is they're kind of resetting their game. They're resetting their retail game. They have ways of kind of storing the shit that you've done, but in reality, it's a game reset on the main game. This isn't a classic or anything else. They're literally resetting everything. So that's what I said. Hey, maybe this is the blueprint for a WoW 2. Maybe this is how Blizzard pulls it off. Let's see what Marcellian has to say about how retail WoW could start over. Here we go.
We will never get WoW 2.0, but we could get a reset. In the last few weeks, the winds have changed around the topic of a WoW 2.0 with the announcement of Guild Wars 3, which is proving you can keep your MMO alive with new, fresh versions of it.
He's talking about Guild Wars 3. Okay, by the way, I mentioned the Guild Wars 3. You can go check my own YouTube channel. I did an entire video about how Guild Wars 3 is laying out the freaking foundation for a WoW 2. So I didn't pre-watch this shit. Clearly, Marcellian's pre-watching me. What about that? What if that's the case? Fucking entire video about this already on my channel. So maybe I'm being pre-watched, huh? You guys ever think about that? Maybe people are pre-watching Samiccus. How about that?
But WoW is not Guild Wars, and its system isn't made to have a new version of it designed and released. What can WoW reset to, though? The World Soul Saga is almost halfway done, and we know that it started with 3 separate design teams, each working on their own expansion. Well, the War Within is over. So what is the War Within team up to? Similar to the WoW team working on different tasks, so is our team at the Marcellian and Flame household. And your support for our content goes a long way just with a subscribe and a like to the video. Good times are coming for WoW, and we are ready to make cooler stuff in the future, so thank you so much for the support.
Yeah, no problem.
Is the War Within team working on what happened to Azeroth after we finish literally every loose end? The Titans? Iridikron? Sylvanas is right now saying Shadowlands is wrong and too ordered and likely not the real Death Realm.
Man, there is a lot of loose ends to tie up when you think about it, for real. I forgot about, I mean, I mention him all the time, but Iridikron, he is a loose end, waiting to be tied up with the Titans. Like, his whole thing is the Titans are going to come back. Iridikron supposedly has a plan on how to deal with them. We're probably going to have to help him with that plan, because we don't really have one right now. We have no idea how we're going to deal with them. We're just going to have to deal with them. So Iridikron's whole timeline, Sylvanas in the mall, whatever she's doing down there, she's going to come back, reveal more about the Titans. And then obviously the whole Xal'atath timeline and the Void and all that shit, that has to be tied up too. So you basically have all these huge storylines, overarching storylines that all need to be closed out within the next, I mean, we're like halfway through midnight now, the next expansion and a half. That's what we have left. We'll see if they can pull it off.
Sargeras and Illidan are waiting for us on the Pantheon of the Titans since Legion ended. What is there to do once all of this is resolved, except to just go back home? Or maybe, when we go back home, home is no longer there. Home changed. The last Titan War clearly means things will not be the same anymore. There's almost a 0% chance Azeroth does not wake up into whatever she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
A Titan, a World Soul, something else.
Whatever happens with the last Titan and what happens beyond that, they could easily even do like a time reset. I mean, Aman'Thul, he's the big bad Titan, right? He's like the first of those Titans on the Titan Pantheon. He's the real big dick who's been like kind of fucking around and doing a lot of manipulation and stuff. So like, if there's a Time Titan, and if you kill the Time Titan, maybe during the fight he does something where like he tries to like reverse time or fuck around with the timeline or do something like that to try to stop his own demise. And in the process, like, we kill him, but now time has been reversed. And we're like back in the old days where we're fighting gnolls in the forests of Elwyn or something. Like, there's a way where they can do a like time shift. Because again, we're fighting against a Time Titan where you can go back to the old days and it would make sense in the lore. Maybe you keep your mounts and shit. I know people are all into their mounts and everything. And obviously with player housing, like, you can't really reset player housing and everything everyone else has gathered up. but there could be a way to like give it like a time scale slash power scale reverse by using his powers, in some way in the fight. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but I think it's possible if they want to do it.
Does it even matter? Once
The
everything is
sacred
said and
timeline, yeah.
done, Elwyn Forest will not be the same again. Will the timeline be reset? Will the world advance decades or centuries in the future? All of the known NPCs would have either died in the last Saturn or eventually of old age.
There is the reorigination forge. I mean, could it get activated? We would have to not be here. I mean, if that thing gets activated, we're dead. So we'd have to not be on the planet if that happened. I don't know how you do that. Maybe they use the reorigination forge to pull out the sword. Yeah, there is a sword in the planet too. I forgot about that. When I mentioned loose timeline, and stories, there's a fucking sword. And literally, we're still saying what sword. We're an expansion and a half into the World Soul Saga. Still have not dealt with that too. Yeah, I don't know if the Forge of Reorigination is going to be used. If I had to say, I bet no.
Or remained as a class trainer, quest NPCs, especially those pesky elves that live so very long.
There isn't.
Maybe they will remain a connection to the memories of the past and make room for new stories to be told. Your story. Picture this. You are just creating a character in a new world of Azeroth. You recognize some of these races: humans, elves, orcs, and trolls, and a whole bunch of others. There are some new faces as well. Old faces, but new.
Ooh,
you can make an
playable
ogre character that's a mage, has two heads, and speaks out of both. Or an Amani troll shadow hunter, reminiscing of what Vol'jin used to do. And
playable Amani trolls. Imagine that. What an easy win. Blizzard would surely take an playable Amani troll race. If they ever made Amani trolls relevant again in the game, we would definitely get playable Amani trolls, right? Like, players have wanted that for Blizzard would easily do that, right? That makes sense. That's what they would do. Jesus.
But with the backing of the Amani Loa and their
12.1.7, yeah.
You log in with your fresh new warrior, something familiar, but you are in a new zone. The World Soul Saga ended, and now the game is reset. It still looks the same, the spells are mostly similar. You tap target a mob to select it and swing your weapon at it. Right-clicking an NPC opens up a dialog box, and you accept the new quest to set up on your own adventure.
Right.
But what is this new adventure? You don't know what is up. How are you going to get to max level? Or even, what is the actual end goal? Nobody's calling you the champion anymore, commander, or hero. You are just a nobody, just some fool with steel in his hands, ready to make a name for yourself. You are excited to start farming some experience points to make your weapon swing hit a bit harder.
Like, seriously, reset to level 0, right? And just take it all back. Oh man, I would like it. I would. And so, like, people will say, well, then go play Classic Plus, Sam. Why don't you go do that? I don't know why Kermit came out, but basically, but I don't want to. I like the retail version of the game. I do. And it's got its seasonality and all that shit to it, but I like playing a game that's just advancing, and I've been playing it for this long, and I'll keep playing it. Okay. I would kind of like like I said, a back to the basics. Running around in a forest where, like, murlocs are actually scary and shit's going down. And I'm not just godlike in terms of powers, and the only thing that can scare me now is a Titan. Like, it takes that level of freaking force to actually do anything to me. I think it'd be cool.
What happens once you reach level 10? Do you get some cool new spells or armor? How about dungeons? If you get a group of adventurers and you go into an instant zone that none of you know anything about, will you be lucky enough to loot a sick piece of armor that will make questing way easier and push you to the next level faster? What if you reach max level and you realize the adventure has already begun? The gearing process has changed now. Your shoulders and helmets no longer just give you a pair of secondary stats that a website told you are good for you. But instead, they tell you your character will do a cool thing whenever you attack an enemy. And that might be why your raid will want you in to slay that boss. This is but a taste of what a new version of WoW can bring. And the current design of the game 100% can make that happen because of what we have right now in the game.
I mean, WoW is the best set up to be the next great MMO. It is. It's already got, like, everything's built. Like, you could say what you want about World of Warcraft as an MMO, and some people don't like playing it anymore, whatever it is. It's still the #1 MMO out there. And the other side of it is, it still has, like, I don't know how to call it, like, the smoothest, I don't know, game engine. Like, I don't mean that in terms of like, oh, we have patches that are always great. No, it fucking breaks all the time. But like swinging an axe in WoW or interacting with the environment in WoW, like in terms of MMOs, as far as MMO, I still feel like it's the best. I still feel like, I don't know, the way a pyroblast hits in WoW feels better than other spells in other MMOs. The way your sword hits in WoW feels better than other MMOs. There's something about it. And it's honestly because they've been perfecting it for freaking 2 decades now. They've had a lot of time to make this game right. So what could be the next great MMO? What if WoW is the next great MMO? I know Riot's out there making their MMO, and yes, that could be a challenger for sure. Riot's made great games, and they got great lore to play off of. But WoW's got the best foundation. What if they're the next big MMO? What if WoW 2 is the next one? It'd be kind of cool. I'd be down for it.
WoW can reset. The groundwork for WoW to receive a reset of some kind has already been laid down and has been in the works for quite some time. The devs themselves are aware that for
90% of players who play WoW would not want a reset. It's a really stupid idea. I mean, Guild Wars is doing it. And I'm not saying you have to reset in terms of like you take everything away from everybody. You don't have to do that. You can let them keep their shit. Okay, because that's what WoW players, why they don't want to reset. Because they're all a bunch of hoarding fucking collectors who don't want to lose all their mounts and their armor and shit. And that's fine. Technically, every single expansion is a reset. All of your shit becomes innate, and none of it's worth using anymore. And your level has to be pushed up. All the levels you've gotten prior don't matter. You need to gain the next 10 levels to actually be relevant. Every expansion really is a soft reset. This would just be a semi-hard reset, okay? Not rock hard, but semi-hard reset. That's what this would be. You keep your shit. It just all becomes kind of irrelevant in terms of power and everything else, and you start back at lower level threats again. That's what a reset to WoW would be. I agree. I think you would lose players if you honestly full bore reset the game entirely. That's what that wouldn't work. But Guild Wars doesn't even do that. I'm pretty sure they let people keep a lot of shit. If you played, you get like an achievement for playing part of the old shit, and then the new shit is really where it all starts over again.
20 years, the formula has become old and needs to change. These changes have been happening little by little. We are now in an expansion with 1 big raid and 3 mini raids. Tell this to you playing Shadowlands 6 years ago and see how you would react. No bro, nope, impossible. They cannot remove covenants. They made some gem shards be the equivalent of tier sets in the Sanctum raid, and Nippleman is already orchestrating the entire story. No way. The first signs that anyone can accept are already here. Eversong Woods and Zulamon have been completely reworked. New vibe, refurbished zones that have evolved since the invasion of the Scourge to keep up with time passing in the game. In Last Saturn, we already know that Northrend will be revamped as well.
Yes.
How? We will find out at BlizzCon, I guess, but it's likely that Ulduar will become a player hub and a staging zone for the conflict with the Titans that will 100%.
I've said it before, I want like a Vrykul capital city. I think we left them a long time ago. The Vrykul have been up there. They're humanoids. They could have advanced their civilization. They could have created a massive Vrykul city. Give me a fucking badass Viking Vrykul-inspired city with badass Viking-style music. I'm down for it. That's what I want. That's what I want my capital city to be in Northrend.
Happen.
I hope they don't just go like Dragonblight or something like that. That would not be cool.
From the stakes of everything,
Blizzard, hell no,
this conflict or war that's about to happen will be the biggest we ever had and likely the last actual WoW conflict because, well, what else is there? We already beat a Void Lord in Manaforge. Dimensius is basically a battery for Xal'atath now. We are likely beating Xal'atath in Midnight 110%, and she is an extra spicy Void Lord level threat. In Last Titan, we are getting Iridikron back, who is clearly not a fan of the Titan Pantheon. And guess who else is waiting for us on the Pantheon? Remember these two guys? Basically been here for about 9 years now, close to half of WoW's lifespan. Their story will likely conclude. So who else is left? Sylvanas has been...
Illidan, Sargeras team up in return. Guaranteed. Sargeras coming down, pulling his sword, showing how strong his pull-out game is, pulling that sword out of the planet. Think it could happen.
Undergoing retcons for a while now, to the point where she and the Shadowlands are not what they used to be. First of all, she's actually repenting and saving souls, and second, she clearly said stuff like Shadowlands feels too ordered. You cannot be more on the nose with that one, basically pointing a finger at the Order leaders, the Titans, having a hand in altering the Death Realm, with the implication that the actual Death Realm is messed with and needs to be fixed, meaning that what we have encountered as far as the afterlife is concerned will be reset. So with all the loose ends in terms of story being reset, the world receiving constant reworks, the pillars of the universe, Titans, Void, Shadowlands, all changed or reset if you will, 14.0 will be as close to a WoW 2.0 as we can get, but not the 2.0 that people will want.
Is 2.0 possible? WoW's 2.0
First of all, let's
possible?
quickly go over why WoW 2.0 is not the same as a WoW reset and why the former has close to no chance of ever happening.
Yeah, I don't think this will ever happen. Like the full blown, we've seen it before.
Let us lay waste to this
Ducktalem, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Like remake of WoW and like this brand new engine and everything. I don't think this happens. This to me only happens if like Blizzard's lost all of their subscribers to the new Riot MMO and it's time to like honestly rebuild WoW from the ground up. Okay, then we might get a version of WoW that could look like this. But otherwise, I don't see Blizzard ever doing this. They're revamping the entire world already. That's kind of what they're doing, right? They already did it with Silvermoon, upper half of Eastern Kingdoms, all getting revamped. Next is Northrend. They'll continue to do it. They're not going to do this.
The most obvious answer to this is that
Man, that's
WoW
cool. That's a cool looking Stormwind, though. I will say I'd like to see this.
is more than just a game. And I know every good and larger than the industry type game is more than just a game. WoW isn't more than just a game
Damn, look at that Mage Tower. Man, but I've heard rumors that they could be working on an RPG. Maybe they get this version of WoW in that.
more than League of Legends is more than just a game. But it is still more than just a game. People are emotionally and socially attached to World of Warcraft and have been building this connection for over 20 years. With the continuous advancement of the digital landscape, WoW is also becoming more and more of a social gathering that replaces outdoor gatherings. People don't go out for beers as much on a Friday night, but rather raid with their guild or push keys with their friends.
People are less social. I almost feel like COVID was an Earth 2.0 reset. It does feel that way sometimes. Like, I feel like that's a big divider line. Like, when I think about the timeline of life, I'm like, yeah, COVID was a big patch. Like, that changed things forever. Like, people became less social. Gatherings that used to happen just don't anymore. Like, there's like, when you talk to people, you're like, oh, yeah, that was pre-COVID. That was like pre the COVID patch. And then you got post-COVID, everything, and had the way of life that's occurred since then. It's kind of become shittier, if I'm being honest. But maybe that's just me having nostalgia, rose-colored glasses on all the time. I miss the COVID. You miss when the patch was going live. You miss when COVID was for. I mean, there were some positives to being stuck at home all the time. Shit. But that's more for like degens like us who want to play WoW all the time. That's why we liked it. A lot of people fucking went into depression over that shit. But I think there's a lot of things that happened during COVID that changed forever.
Instead, another aspect of the unlikelihood of WoW 2 is that people are also attached to their account data.
They put real-life quest requirements up to you.
20-year-old characters and guilds have so much lingering emotional weight that moving away from it is likely going to kill the game. Not everyone feels this way, of course, but the majority of the WoW community is silent. The players logging in to do another daily quest, to slay another boar, to finish another dungeon are not spending a lot of time online telling you what they think. The silent majority are a core part of the player base, keeping the game alive, and they cannot be pushed to the side, since they are subscribed all the time. And I don't believe the account data can be moved to the new game client. First of all, that means that the new game client has to have the exact same graphical assets and texture for your armors and mounts to be able to look the same. At which point, will it really be WoW 2.0? Second, the raw amount of data
I just don't see them deleting. You got, I mean, even more like to anchor shit into the current game, you have player housing, right? They're not going to like, we just introduced player housing and you collected all these decor items and now we're going to reset the game. All your decor items are gone. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, which is why like his version of WoW 2 that's kind of talking about right now, that's not going to happen. They got to keep shit. I just think a reset in terms of power scale, like when I talk about WoW 2, I'm really talking about like a reset of the power scaling, a reset of the leveling, reset of the ability, all that shit like kind of going back down to, hey, we're kind of just like local heroes. Here we are again. Westfall's dangerous all of a sudden again. All that shit's happening. And it's just kind of more back to the basics.
Herculean and will have to be a small part of the total game files, since we cannot just have WoW 2.0 without new armors and new mounts.
We'll have to go 1 to 60 again, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Making the game be stupidly large.
Re-explore the world.
Third, do you really think we can have this amount of data migrated efficiently when we cannot have a small patch release without bugs, lags, disconnects, and multiple other issues? A further indication of this is how housing has been a large investment into the game's sense of nostalgia and safe haven for longtime players that is clearly setting up the game to be alive for at least.
Do you think the new Classic Plus will be in the real engine? No. No, but it's going to be, the supposedly Project Camelot already revealed what Classic Plus is going to be. And in that document, they talk about Classic Plus having been upgraded to like retail level graphics, but like maintaining some of the classic looks. So there is some upgrading going on in terms of the graphical engine for Classic Plus. It seems like that's what Blizzard's going to do. But like not Unreal Engine level shit, no.
10 more years. Lastly, the game model is too different from games like Guild Wars, where Guild Wars has a different progression system and content release. It facilitates their model to have new games. WoW is an expansion.
Wait, you said wait, where is that info? I'm going to post, the video's going live today. It's going live today on my channel. But there's plenty of, like, you could search Project Camelot on YouTube probably and find it. But the one that I'm posting is going live today. And it's about some leakage that occurred from Blizzard.
Based MMO, with each new expansion drastically changing at least one aspect of the game, to the point where after 3 expansions, the game is almost unrecognizable. Think about Shadowlands.
Sam, did you really go? No, I didn't go to Blizzard. No, I didn't. That was just me editing a photo. No, I wish, man. That'd be cool. I would love to go to Blizzard.
The talent trees
I'm not big enough.
The reputation style that we had, the profession system we had. Not to mention, we had no tier sets. The Catalyst was the last feature released in Shadowlands that led us into the current WoW landscape, and reputations have fully turned into renown. Profession revamps, talent revamps, class revamps, all of which are making Shadowlands players have a need to adjust to Midnight, as opposed to just firing it up and automatically knowing what the hero talents are and what profession knowledge is good for. No, WoW 2.0 cannot happen, at least not without burning a lot of bridges. However, the WoW reset is so plausible, I'm sure it will take at least some form after the World Soul Saga.
I think so too.
Maybe
whether or not it's a full reset of our levels or anything like that, it's definitely going to happen. It's reset the story, whatever it is, there's going to be resets that occur after we kill the Titans. You can't just keep power scaling. It's just not possible. You can't have this go on forever. What do we fight after the Titans? The tits? You know, the Titans, and then we just got the tits after? We're just going to fight tits? I don't know what it is, but you can't keep power scaling. It's impossible.
A more cohesive world building with a consistent vibe. Something that doesn't
exhausting.
Get a whole bunch of people to say, this isn't Warcraft anymore. Maybe the end game being revamped to not be so predictable, which we already seem to be going.
We fight male pattern baldness, we're going to lose. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. We're going to lose that one. Well, we all got to fly to Turkey in the game and get hair transplants. Yeah.
Towards with all these mini raids, nebulous core gearing, and so on. But that's our opinion. What about the people out there still grinding right now for more atom level? What did they think? Well, we asked as many as we could, and so far the opinions look something like this. I mean, for all those classic versus retail Andes and diehards, it does seem a lot of people want a fresh coat of paint.
There it is. I mean, look, the results are in, man. WoW 2, I'm telling you. Some people are like, man, no one wants a WoW 2. No, people do want a WoW 2. People do. Now, 57%. Okay, you don't want to lose 40% or whatever of your player base. You don't want that to happen, right? You have 43% of your player base gone because they don't like a WoW 2 reset. That wouldn't be good, which is why I think you get like a softer version of it. Makes everybody happy kind of thing.
For WoW, whatever form that takes. This is not definitive, of course, but it should be food for thought or at least an open discussion. In the meantime, when you do...
To be fair, too, he's also surveying his viewers, which, you know, really are retail Andes for the most part. Marcellian and does mostly retail content. So, yeah, there's, you gotta take that,
An
too.
open discussion. In the meantime, when you do dungeons, can you see your enemies' plates? How about their cast bars? How about both? No? Well, it looks like you need to see this video right here.
Yeah. Oh, nice video overall from Marcellian. WoW 2 will never happen. Blizzard said it themselves. Yeah, they're never going to just delete the game and start a new game called WoW 2. I know that'll never happen. But basically, reset on the storyline, reset on the player power creep and all that, I think that could happen, certainly. And I think it will after The Last Titan. We'll see.